There's a moment in every connection where things shift, where a woman moves from being curious to invested, from enjoying your presence to needing it. And most men miss this moment entirely, not because it's invisible, but because they've never been taught how to recognize it. You see, women don't always express their emotions in ways men are wired to understand. While men tend to communicate with direct language, clear wants, straightforward needs, women often speak in layers, especially when their emotions are involved. She might not say, "I'm falling for you," outright. She might never utter the words, "I feel safe with you," or "You matter to me." But trust me, she's saying it. Just in a different language, a quieter one, a subtler one that you have to be grounded enough to hear. And if you know what to look for, her words, her tone, her timing, those all reveal what she's truly feeling. Today, I'm going to break down the hidden cues, the phrases, and the emotional signals that a woman gives off when she's emotionally invested in you. These aren't surface-level indicators. They're not just about attention, compliments, or texting frequency. These are the deep signs that she sees you as more than a fling, more than a distraction, more than just someone to pass the time with. But before we begin, I want you to remember something. Just because she says something emotional doesn't mean she's invested, and just because she doesn't say anything emotional doesn't mean she's not. What we're looking at today is context, consistency, and emotional depth. That's where the truth lives. Let's start with the first hidden phrase that reveals emotional investment. 1. I've never told anyone this before. Now this is powerful. When a woman opens up and says something like, "I've never told anyone this before," or "I don't usually talk about this with people," she's not just sharing a story. She's sharing access. Access to a part of her that most people never get to see. Her past, her insecurities, her private thoughts, the things she's learned to protect. See, emotional investment doesn't begin when she compliments your looks or laughs at your jokes. That's surface level. That's easy. Emotional investment begins the moment she feels safe enough to be emotionally vulnerable. When she lets you into her inner world, she's telling you, "I trust you." She's saying, "I feel emotionally safe in your presence." And in today's world, where everyone's guarded, that safety is everything. This is where most men make a crucial mistake. They either rush in too fast, trying to fix her problem or psychoanalyze her feelings, or they shut down, overwhelmed by the weight of what she just shared. But a stoic, emotionally grounded man, he listens, not to respond, but to understand. He holds space without judgment. He doesn't need to fix anything. He doesn't interrupt her flow with shallow reassurance. He just stays present, calm, focused. That's what makes her open up more. That's what makes her start to attach. So the next time a woman says something deeply personal, especially if it starts with, "I've never told anyone this before," pay attention. That's not just small talk. That's not just oversharing. That's a green light. That's her saying, "You're not like the rest." That's her saying, "I want you to see the real me." And once a woman gives you access to her truth, her emotional world, her wounds, you are no longer just a man in her life. You become part of her story. But you must earn that trust by how you respond. With calm, with presence, with zero neediness or performance. You don't need to match her vulnerability right away. You just need to meet it with respect. Because at the end of the day, what every woman is truly seeking, beneath the filters and the games and the curated messages, is a man who can make her feel seen without making her feel exposed. And if you're that man, she won't just invest, she'll stay. 2. What do you think I should do? This simple question might sound casual on the surface, but when a woman starts consistently asking for your opinion on personal matters, especially when it involves her emotions, relationships, family issues, or life choices, it's a big deal. Because here's the truth, women don't open that door for just anyone. When she says, "What do you think I should do?" she's signaling more than curiosity. She's showing trust in your judgment. She respects your thinking. She values your emotional clarity. She sees you as someone grounded enough to influence her personal decisions. Think about how we operate when we're uncertain or vulnerable. We don't go asking for advice from random people. We go to someone we feel safe with, someone who brings calm instead of chaos, someone who listens without pushing an agenda. And that's exactly what she sees in you. Now, let's be clear. This doesn't mean you need to start giving her step-by-step instructions or playing therapist. That's where a lot of guys mess this up. They rush into fix-it mode, trying to be the hero or come up with the perfect answer. But what she's really looking for is your presence of mind. She's not testing your intelligence, she's testing your emotional leadership. A woman asking for your opinion is often seeking alignment. She wants to feel that you can hold space for her dilemma, walk with her through the tension, and help her return to her own clarity. So when she asks, "What do you think I should do?" slow down, ask her questions, stay neutral. Say something like, "Well, what do you really want to do?" Or, "It sounds like you already know. What's holding you back?" This makes her feel emotionally seen and not emotionally managed. Remember, emotional investment is about depth, not direction. And if she feels like she can turn to you, not for control but for clarity, you instantly become someone rare in her life. Not just a guy she likes, but a man she can lean on. 3. I thought about you when... There's a point in every woman's emotional journey where her thoughts start including you, even when you're not around. And it often shows up in one quiet phrase. I thought about you when... It could be as light as, "I saw this book and thought you'd like it," or as meaningful as, "This song reminded me of you." Either way, the underlying message is clear. You live in her emotional memory now. She's not just interacting with you, she's associating you with moments in her day. She's linking you to her environment, her moods, her thoughts. This is deep psychological territory. See, women are wired for emotional pattern recognition. When a woman starts connecting external stimuli to you, it's a sign that you've left a psychological imprint. That's when emotional investment begins to take root. It means you're not just a passing thought. You're becoming part of her emotional world. This isn't just attraction. This is attachment. The mistake many men make at this stage is brushing these moments off, or not reciprocating in subtle ways. They miss the opportunity to mirror that emotional thread. When she shares a "this reminded me of you" moment, she's extending a piece of her internal world to you. She's saying, "You matter even when you're not around." The wise response isn't to joke it away or just say nice, it's to reflect her investment. You can say something like, "That's cool you thought of me. What made it stand out?" Or even share your own. "You know, I saw something the other day that reminded me of that thing you said." This exchange reinforces the emotional bond. It shows her you're tuned in, that she's not investing alone. And that's what makes her feel emotionally safe and seen. Two of the deepest needs a woman has when falling for someone. So next time she says, "I thought about you when..." don't just hear the words, hear the meaning. You're becoming her emotional home. 4. I'm not usually like this around people. When a woman says, "I'm not usually like this around people," what she's revealing, without fully realizing it, is that you've broken through her emotional guard. This phrase is rarely about behavior. It's not really about being goofy, open, talkative, shy, or flirty. It's about emotional disarmament. Most people walk through life wearing psychological armor, women especially, because they're constantly navigating expectations, judgments, and emotional projections from others. So when she finds herself laughing more easily, opening up about her past, being more vulnerable, or just behaving differently than she normally would, it surprises even her. And the moment she points that out to you, she's acknowledging an emotional shift. Here's what makes this so important. She's not just saying she feels safe. She's also saying you bring something out of her that few others do. And that, my friend, is the cornerstone of emotional intimacy. You didn't ask her to drop her guard. You didn't push. You didn't manipulate. You simply created the conditions where her truest self could emerge. Think of it like this. If she feels like she has to wear a mask with most people, but she doesn't need it around you, that's a rare and powerful bond. And people become emotionally invested in those who help them reconnect with who they really are. This is why stoic presence matters so much. When you're calm, grounded, and non-reactive, you're not emotionally demanding. You're not rushing her or seeking validation. You're just being still. That stillness gives her space to relax into her own truth. And when a woman feels seen without having to perform, she begins to trust deeply. So if she ever says, "I'm not usually like this," pay close attention. She's not apologizing, she's not confused, she's revealing. And she's inviting you into a more authentic emotional space, one where her walls are down and her investment is growing. 5. I feel like I can tell you anything. This is one of the most emotionally loaded sentences a woman can offer you. I feel like I can tell you anything. To a lot of guys, this might sound like she's friend-zoning you, but that's far from the truth. When a woman genuinely says this, and it's coming from a space of warmth, comfort, and trust, what she's really saying is, I feel emotionally safe with you. And emotional safety is not a consolation prize. It's the foundation of long-term attraction. Here's the deal. Any man can spark interest. A few can create chemistry. But very few can make a woman feel emotionally grounded. When she feels like she can share the messy, vulnerable, unfiltered parts of herself without fear of being judged or misunderstood, you've earned something most men never reach: her inner world. It's not about being her therapist. It's not about solving her problems. It's about being present with her truth. And when she feels that kind of connection, her emotions start investing automatically. In Stoicism, we talk a lot about self-mastery, and one of the greatest powers of self-mastery is being a container for someone else's storm without losing yourself in it. That's what women crave more than a flashy lifestyle or physical perfection. She wants to be around a man who doesn't flinch when she reveals her reality, a man who listens, who stays rooted, who doesn't try to fix her or silence her emotions, but lets her speak freely because he knows who he is. When she says, I feel like I can tell you anything, respond with presence. Don't downplay it. Don't get awkward. Just meet her in that space. Ask follow-up questions. Listen with your whole attention. Hold eye contact. Nod gently. These simple behaviors reinforce her sense of safety. Because the more she opens up and sees that your energy doesn't shift, the deeper her emotional investment grows. And remember this, women don't become obsessed with men who always impress them. They become obsessed with men who can hear their truth. 6. You make me feel calm. This one flies under the radar for most men because it doesn't sound flashy, it doesn't sound passionate or romantic. But it is one of the most powerful compliments a woman can give you. You make me feel calm. Why? Because we live in a world that constantly overwhelms women. emotionally, mentally, and socially. When a woman says you make her feel calm, what she's really saying is that your energy has an anchoring effect. She feels emotionally regulated around you. Her nervous system starts to slow down. She breathes easier. She doesn't feel the need to be on. And this is a direct reflection of your inner stillness, your emotional clarity, your stoic presence. Let me be blunt. Most guys are emotionally chaotic. They overreact. They over-explain. They try too hard. They seek reassurance. Their energy is needy or unpredictable. And even if a woman finds them attractive at first, that emotional instability slowly becomes exhausting. But when you walk in grounded, still, and composed, not arrogant, not detached, but present, you become rare. And when she says, "You make me feel calm," she's not just complimenting you, she's bonding with you. That calm is what makes her want to spend more time with you. It's what makes her body soften around you. It's what turns basic attraction into deep emotional pull. So how do you cultivate this? First, stop trying to impress. Focus on awareness instead of performance. Slow your speech. Breathe more deeply. Listen with curiosity instead of judgment. Speak less, but mean more. When you do this, your energy starts to feel like a sanctuary. And when a woman feels emotionally safe in your presence, she doesn't just like being around you, she starts needing it. That's the seed of obsession. So if she says, "You make me feel calm," know that her heart has already started investing. Because the strongest emotional pull isn't excitement, it's peace. Number 7. She wants to understand your emotions. One of the strongest indicators that a woman is emotionally invested in you is when she takes a genuine interest in understanding your emotions, not just the surface-level feelings, but the deeper layers that you might not even share with others. This isn't about her being nosy or intrusive. It's about her wanting to connect with your inner world, your thoughts, your struggles, and your joys. She wants to see what makes you tick emotionally. This is a very intimate kind of investment, and it requires vulnerability on both sides. When a woman truly cares about you, she won't be satisfied with you saying, "I'm fine," or "It's nothing." She'll notice the slight change in your tone, the silence that lingers too long, the look in your eyes when something's bothering you. And she'll ask about it. Not because she wants to pry, but because your emotional well-being matters to her. She wants to support you, not fix you. She wants to be your safe space. This level of emotional curiosity signals that she's in it for more than just the fun or attraction. It means she's trying to understand how to love you better, how to comfort you, and how to be someone who genuinely enhances your life. But here's where stoic wisdom comes in. If you're the type of man who is emotionally guarded, who sees expressing feelings as weakness, you might misread this as pressure or even control. But that mindset will push her away. A stoic man understands that strength is not the absence of emotion, it's the mastery of it. When she creates space for your emotions and wants to understand you on that level, it's not weakness to open up, it's strength. And if you recognize her effort and meet it with calm honesty, it builds a bond that's not just romantic, but deeply human. If you're wondering whether a woman is emotionally invested, ask yourself this: does she care when I'm not at my best? Does she make an effort to understand what I'm feeling without judgment? If the answer is yes, you're not dealing with casual interest. That's emotional commitment in action. Number 8. She wants to integrate you into her life. A powerful sign that a woman is emotionally invested is when she begins integrating you into the bigger picture of her life. She's no longer just spending time with you on dates or texting you during her downtime. Now, she's inviting you into her world, introducing you to her friends, her family, including you in her future plans. asking for your opinion on decisions, and slowly building a shared rhythm with you. When a woman starts doing this, it's not just a routine or a social gesture, it's a deep emotional move. She's saying, without words, "You matter to me, and I want you to be part of my future." This could be as simple as wanting you to join her at a family dinner, or as serious as discussing career changes, or where she wants to live in the future. These invitations might seem subtle at first, but they carry serious emotional weight. From a stoic perspective, it's important to observe how you handle these moments. Are you comfortable being part of her world, or do you pull away? Are you engaging with her inner circle, or do you keep the relationship siloed into your own terms? Emotional investment isn't just about what she's doing, it's about how you respond to it. Women don't introduce just anyone to their families or best friends. That's a vulnerable move. It means she's opening herself up to judgment, not just from you, but from the people who matter to her. It means she's emotionally committed enough to risk social exposure because she believes in the connection. If you notice that she talks about the future and uses language like we instead of I, that's a subtle but meaningful shift. It's no longer just about her goals or dreams, it's about building a shared life. She might start asking questions like, "Would you ever want to travel here?" Or, "Do you like the idea of living in this city?" These aren't idle questions, they're emotional bridges. The key here is not to rush or get overwhelmed. Stoic wisdom reminds us that calm observation and honest participation are the foundation of any serious relationship. If she's bringing you into her life and you feel grounded and aligned with it, that's a green flag of deep emotional investment. Number 9. She becomes emotionally affected by you. Perhaps the most telling sign that a woman is emotionally invested is how much your emotional state affects hers. When she's connected to you deeply, your moods, actions, and words carry serious weight. If you're distant, she feels it in her bones. If you're cold, she worries. If you're joyful, it lifts her spirit. She's emotionally in tune with you, not out of dependence, but because you genuinely matter to her. This emotional responsiveness can manifest in different ways. She might become more anxious if you've been quiet for a while, not because she's clingy, but because your silence means something to her. Or maybe she celebrates your wins with a genuine sense of pride, as if your success is also hers. That kind of emotional empathy is not casual. It's deep investment. However, this is also where emotional maturity is critical. A stoic man doesn't exploit this vulnerability. He respects it. When a woman is emotionally affected by you, she's offering you her emotional trust. She's saying, "You matter enough that your actions influence how I feel." This is not something to take lightly. At the same time, her being emotionally reactive to you doesn't mean she's overly sensitive or weak. It means she's connected. And in today's world, where emotional detachment is common, that connection is a rare and valuable thing. You'll notice that when she's deeply invested, she'll check in on you more often. She'll seek reassurance not because she's needy, but because she wants to feel close to you. She might say things like, "I've been thinking about you," or "It hurts when we don't talk." These are not guilt trips, they're emotional signals. If you're the kind of man who values loyalty, depth, and long-term connection, this emotional responsiveness is a powerful thing to honor. Be the kind of man who holds space for her, who communicates with calm clarity, and who offers steadiness even when emotions run high. That's what makes her feel secure. And when a woman feels emotionally safe, her love deepens in ways that words can't fully capture. When she's emotionally affected by you, you've moved beyond casual territory. You've entered the kind of emotional bond that few people ever experience. And if you treat that with care and respect, it becomes the foundation of a lasting relationship built on trust, empathy, and unshakable connection. So, if you've recognized even a few of these signs in a woman you're seeing, know that you're not just someone she enjoys spending time with. You're someone she's emotionally committed to. And that kind of connection is rare in today's world. But here's the deeper truth. How you respond to her emotional investment matters just as much as the signs themselves. A stoic man doesn't just enjoy affection, he honors it. He recognizes when a woman is showing up with vulnerability, with care, with the desire to build something real, and he meets that with calm strength and emotional presence. If this resonated with you, take a moment to reflect. Are you making space for emotional depth? Are you present when someone is trying to connect with you on a real level? If the answer is yes, then you're already walking the path most men avoid. And that's what sets you apart. Thanks for watching. If you found value in this video, consider subscribing for more grounded insights on emotional intelligence, stoic relationships, and the psychology of real connection. Drop a comment below. Let me know what signs you've seen or what resonated most with you. Stay grounded, stay observant, and as always, lead with quiet strength. See you in the next one.